And hello, how are you doing today? Thank you for joining me. Today's deck tech, we are doing a deck called They Who Endure. This was actually brought to me by a friend of mine, Cheeto Taco. You may have heard of him. He's a little bit of an Elder Scrolls legend, and he's playing Runeterra now too. So I'm just going to quickly go over the list. I've modified it post-patch just a little because the patch made a few modifications. As you can see, this is Isles, or has Isles in it. So that said, we start with the Hapless Aristocrat. Actually, you know what? We're going to go straight to the bottom. The deck is based around They Who Endure. When I'm summoned, grant me +1/+1 for each ally that has died and overwhelmed for 6. This is an absolutely great value. 6 mana can usually pull down a really big creature. Sorry, after everything is said and done, going mid to late game, even mid game, sometimes you can get off a pretty big beast. But most of the cards you're going to find in this deck synergize with that. So, first card is Hapless Aristocrat. Again, it's a simple blocker, a 1/1 blocker with a spiderling that recovers itself. Fuel for They Who Endure. Mark of the Isles, good for being able to trade up, and we're not worried about our creatures dying because, again, they go to feed They Who Endure. Omen Hawk, a great buffer, just a simple little chump blocker that gives value to your cards later on in the game. Eversen's Sentry, another chump blocker that when it dies, replaces itself and gives you a card. Pure value. Elise. Now, Elise is in this deck, and it's kind of funny. She's not in here as a win condition. And don't be afraid to lose her or use her as a blocker. She is not the be-all, end-all. We're not going for mass-wide spiders and being able to challenge. Is it a possibility? Yes, because we have the Hapless Aristocrat and we have some other spiders in the deck, but it is not the be-all, end-all. Her main purpose is to be able to create spiderlings which feed They Who Endure, either by attacking your opponent, chipping away their health, or just providing fuel to make They Who Endure bigger for when you play it. Glimpse Beyond, you could actually take Cold Chill. There we go. There. We're part Freljord, so it makes sense. Glimpse Beyond, again, works well with cards like Eversen's Sentry. You can 2 cost, sack that, gain 3 cards. It's a great way to refill your hand if necessary. Elise's Additional Spider, you sack that, draw 2 cards. The sacrifice also goes to They Who Endure. Vile Feast, easy little cheap 1 damage. Drain 1 health goes back to your Nexus. Drain 1 could be used for removal. You could technically use it on Eversen's Sentry if you want to draw a card. You could use it on your own Elise token if you want, and it replaces itself with another token. So we have the sacrifice, we have gaining life, and we have a replacement effect. Just an overall great card in this build. Black Spear, we're all about our allies dying, not forcefully, most of the time not by our own accord, but Black Spear just makes sense. It's if an ally died, and our allies are going to die, deal 3 damage, great way to remove a threat. Frenzied Skitterer, this is on the watch list as of right now, but right now it's a 3/3 fearsome for 3. Other spiders, as you can see, we had a number of them in the deck already. It makes them better. It makes your opponent creatures weaker. It's just better for trading, and at the end of the day, it still has fearsome. Now, the next card is my own addition to it, Avalanche. The meta, whenever you have a new patch and nerfs come down, the meta always shifts to aggro until it can settle down. Now, there is always going to be an aggro deck. Right now, you more than likely on spiders. Maybe even elusives could still survive after Navari's recall buff. Oh, sorry, nerf. Nerf. They got nerfed. But Avalanche is a great little spell to be able to just hold your own, slow your opponent, especially if they're an aggro deck. And again, we're not caring about our creatures dying because when they do, they feed They Who Endure. Plus, we're getting additional benefits off of it. The Hapless Aristocrat dies. You get a replacement. Sentry dies. You get to draw a card. So we're not losing out much by killing our own units with the Avalanche and taking the hit, being able to take our opponent down, our opponent's board down, and giving us some more time. I added in one box as well because it's a one-sided Avalanche, conditional on enemies that were just summoned. So I'm expecting a lot of Spectral Riders in the upcoming meta with the Callista buff. Also, going wide with spiders, and just basically anything. Anytime your opponent has summoned creatures, more than one creature in a turn, this can it can hurt him or them or she, whoever they. It will hurt them because 3 damage across the board on anything just summoned. It's painful. Now, even though he did get the nerf, we are having a Hecarim in the deck. So you can see now it's if you've attacked with 7, allies get +3/+0, and you get the 2 Spectral Riders. So you are still getting 2 5/2 Riders. Just their base is 2 with a +3 instead of +2 or base 3 with a +2. This actually works out better for ephemerals as an overall because this is going to affect stuff like Shark Chariot, which I fully expect to be in the deck. And again, I'm expecting more Onslaughts of Shadows and Spectral Raiders to be very prevalent, especially with Hecarim. And last but not least, or not the linchpin of the deck, the Rekindler. It did receive a nerf. It is still a very, very strong card. 7 cost to possibly bring back a Hecarim in order to be able to push damage, create more creatures that are ephemeral. They're going to die at the end of the turn, which feeds They Who Endure. Or Rekindler, 7 mana so that you get an Elise back, which is going to be, again, more creatures to feed They Who Endure. And that's basically it. I'm going to enjoy They Who Endure's artwork for a second because this is awesome. Yeah. Alright. So, thanks for watching the deck tech, and stay tuned for the match. Remember, if you want sweet merch, check out the Inked Gaming link below and use code GunterNine10, that's GUNTERNINE10 to get a discount. Also, please consider donating to the BCRF as we all have mothers, sisters, daughters, and wonderful women in our lives. And if you have a spare moment, follow me at GunterNine on Twitter. Alright, and here we go with They Who Endure. We currently have, or we're going up against, Dead Callista Hecarim deck. New Callista meta. Alright, so as expected, They Who Endure is the linchpin of this deck. I'm actually going to keep this Omen Hawk and the Freddy Skitterer. Before that, at least, nuked. And we have a nice, pretty Avalanche. So maybe that'll actually work. Oh, and hello to Don Sombrero, our opponent in today's deck tech. Okay, I will gladly draw another card. Oh, he's just gonna let me pass it. Okay. Right. I'm just gonna go for an overwhelming the board here. Let's try and get as much damage as we well, we still have access, or before they can become a powerhouse. First order of biggest to smallest. Alright. Down to 13, and Endure is ready to go, and there we go. We got a nice Elise. Oh, sorry about that. You're not going to be able to play your Callista. Unless you got an, nope, you do not have it. We're going to get a spider, and we're going to draw a card off of that, and They Who Endure is now a 5/5. And a pass the turn. Okay, so I'm going to see, bring down Elise. She counts as a spider. We're going to wait for whatever they put down. And Frenzied Skitterer. Very nice. Some nice little health gain. Alright. I'm gonna flank on the Skitterer, and we're gonna go with an Avid Sentry. You get your own Spiderling. Well, that's gonna jump in front of there. No, he's gonna take the hit. He doesn't want to. Oh, I'm not gonna get part off of that. Okay, so I'm predicting. Spider, spider, spider. Spectre, spectre, spectre. Got 8. Just for shiggles. Wow. Okay, that was not not what I was hoping or expecting. Yay, Croc. I'm gonna guess somebody was watching Mogwai earlier today. Um, that's at 9/9. We can 3 and keep 1 back, or that's gonna die anyways. We don't have any units for ourselves, so let's black. Yeah, Black Spear that. That is the biggest threat. Black Spear this. Go to our next turn. And an Avalanche if we don't get something decent. However, I'm gonna take the Rekindler, grab the Elise. Still value. Still pumping our Endure up. Wow, okay. That's better value than I have. Alright. Four, 4. 2, 2. Gonna hit for 410. He wants to keep that cross. What we're banking on here is please not have a deny and or sorry, play something. Maybe? Maybe? On. Stop playing. 2 exact copies. We're going on the does not have a deny. 3 cards. 3 cards. I haven't seen the snap come out. An ally draw 2. Okay. Wipe his board. That and mana. He's got nothing. I'm just gonna drop down They Who Endure. $11-11 overwhelm. Back. And that's how it's done. So, thank you again for watching. Reminder, please check out down below in the description, Inked Gaming, GunterNine 10 for your discount. Please consider donating to the BCRF. We all have mothers, sisters, daughters, and others. So, until next time, be excellent to each other.